How's it going, guys? James from Butler Farms, and I'm out up here at the shop today. Hadn't done a table talk in a while, and I'm not at a table now. It's so hot inside the shop that I stepped outside to just talk to you for a few minutes. It's the day after Father's Day, and we just had a really good rain shower come through, and there's one thing that you can count on as soon as rain shower comes through in the deep south in the summer, and that is that the humidity is going to go out the roof, and that's what's happening now. So if my camera fogs up, I apologize in advance. But yesterday on Father's Day, something that I heard in church yesterday morning made me start thinking about the things that I was taught by my father growing up. And obviously my faith comes from the example that my father set as I grew up, both of my parents, and just the way that I view people and the way that I view work and things like that. And so it got me to thinking, you know, I grew up in a generation where we still had ag, we still had home ec in the schools and classes like that. I went to a very small high school where the high school was 7th through 12th. And so for our electives every year, we were required to take home ec, which all boys and girls were required to take home ec, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, to be honest with you. But my chosen elective all 6 years, 7th through 12th grade, was ag. And we learned everything from small engines to different breeds of cow. We learned how to cruise timber, we learned small engines, we learned welding, we learned a little bit of everything. And those skills have stayed with me throughout the year. But there's so many different things that I learned that did not come from ag. Growing up, I can remember helping my mother in the kitchen, and so my love for cooking and for food came from her. There was never anything said about, you know, this is what men do and this is what women do. We all pitched in and helped in the kitchen, and that love still stays with me now. And the love for hard work comes from my dad. There was never a Saturday that went by that we weren't busy doing something. So it got me to thinking, what are we really teaching the young people of today? It's a constant struggle with my own kids to keep them off of devices. Every time I see them, they're on some kind of device, and it's a constant struggle to try to get them to put them down for a little while and enjoy the things around them, and just and getting them outside and getting them busy, you know, doing things outside is just, it's just not what they like to do, and it's so different than the way that I was raised. You know, I'm at the age that if we wanted to learn something, we read a book, we looked it up in actual encyclopedias, or we asked somebody that was older than us that had that skill and knowledge. And so there was that personal touch there where, you know, we could learn those skills and we could be taught things because we had that personal touch. And it seems like technology has kind of taken that away, which seems kind of funny. I'm using technology now to talk to you, but for those parents out there, you know, just the simple little things that you can teach your kids. You know, while this channel is about homesteading and about gardening, and we're mostly about plants, we're going to get into the animals here in the future, especially when I get some more time where I can do that. And I love being able to share that with you, and I'm so appreciative that you're out there watching and that you like these kind of things too. But you know, it often makes me wonder, are you sharing that love with the young people around you guys? The society's not getting better. It's actually getting worse. The way people treat people, the times where we're not sure, you know, if the supply chain's going to hold up, and there's always this scare and that scare. Guys, teaching them those little skills that we take for granted at our age, and that we were taught growing up because it was important to our parents, it was important to our grandparents, it was important to the adults around us in our life. Plus, we had the opportunities in school to take things like home ec and take things like ag. Guys, I learned in home ec how to set a table. I learned how to mend clothes. I can still sew a button back on a shirt. My mother still hangs the stocking at her house every year that I made as a project in home ec. And again, the skills that I learned in ag, I can work on my own lawnmowers. I can do all those things. And then the things that were passed on, you know, from my parents, the love of cooking, the love of food, the love of being able to get outside and work and get my hands dirty, and to see something through from putting a seed in the ground and then watching it grow and then it turning into something that we can eat and turn into something that we can sustain our family. My dad teaching me how to hunt and fish, and not only how to enjoy being out there and to take game and to take fish, but also being able to preserve it and be able to use it throughout the year. Nothing went to waste. Everything was used, and that's such a blessing to me. You know, are we teaching our kids those things? I've tried a couple of different times to as my children get older, my youngest just got his learning permit to drive, and my older ones have been driving for a while now, and with every one of them I try to take them out and just show them simple things about checking their oil, about how to check the tire pressure in their car. And they seem like such unimportant things, but in the, you know, anything that I can teach them that makes them more self-sufficient, makes them better adults, so that they can take care of some of the problems they have themselves without having to pick up a phone and call somebody and pay somebody to come do something that they can very easily do. You know, trying to instill in them to be able to conserve. You know, I showed you in one of the former videos where the tree fell and took out my clotheslines and things like that. Guys, the clothesline thing with me is not just about nostalgia. Yes, every article of clothing that I had growing up, and sheets and towels and everything else, was dried on the clothesline. That's what my mother believes in, and to this day you can still go by their house, and if you catch her on the right day, there's clothes hanging out on the line. But there's also a practical side to it. You know, teaching them that, hey, the less that dryer runs, the more money you save, and just things like that. Just thinking things through that they're not getting watching these little TikTok videos and things like that. So, you know, I don't want this to be long and drawn out. It got me to thinking something the preacher said yesterday that kind of triggered this thought in my mind about how blessed I am to be able to look back on parents and grandparents that taught me how to do all these little things like sewing on a button and preserving, putting up peas and canning tomatoes, and just the love of watching things grow and taking care of wildlife and fish and animals that would become our food. And you know, I think all of that's being lost. So it kind of struck it with me, not only with my 4 children am I going to make the attempt to be better at doing that. You know, I have a unique opportunity as a middle school teacher to share some of that knowledge with my students at school, and I do try to do that. I do try to get them interested in gardening, and some of them watch these videos. Some of them have subscribed to my channel, and that's a blessing to me, but I also hope it's a blessing to them. And so for all of you that are out there, I hope that you're learning something from these videos. As the summer goes on, I'm going to do some canning videos and some preservation videos. I'm going to show you one of the things that my family really loves is pepper jelly that we make from peppers that right here. And you know, it seems like such a simple thing, but you know, it is something to learn. It is a different way to use some of the produce you've got, and you know, we need to use everything that we have. So think about, especially for the adults that are watching this, think about those kids in your life, whether they're your children, your grandchildren, children in your church, or just your neighbors. If you've got a love for gardening and they're out in the yard, and if you can catch a kid outside, then bring them over and show them you know, your garden, and show them where food comes from, and show them your love for it. Even, you know, even if their parents aren't into gardening and aren't into, you know, raising their own food, there's nothing wrong with you showing that to them. And you may light a fire in them and ignite something in them that will help them later on in life to learn new skills and to be more self-sufficient themselves. And I'm going to, myself, I'm going to try to do a better job on this channel to explain better, not just show you things that I've already done, but explain better what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and the benefit of it. And I just hope that you'll do the same thing too. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Like I said, I hadn't done a table talk in a long time, and most, you know, this time of year it's all about the garden, but I just wanted to share that with you. It meant a lot to me to sit down and just think about that for a while, and I hope it means a lot to you too. So I hope this is a blessing to you. God bless you, and just thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Please share these videos with your friends, and don't forget to not only like but also share and subscribe. This is James from Butler Farms. God bless you. We'll see you next time.